Hi guys.
Hello everybody.
I wanted to talk to my friend Warde because over the weekend she was at the Los Angeles Women's March, and I just wanted to discuss it with her because I wasn't there that day and she was really inspired. We started talking this morning and I just thought that we needed to capture it because we are from entirely different backgrounds, entirely different belief systems on women's rights and everything, and I was just thinking it would be fascinating to capture our different viewpoints and also for her to talk about how empowering it was. So, Warde,
Yes.
tell me about the march and what it was like and what you left feeling like, please.
Well, the march for me was, honestly, I haven't came down from the high of it and from what I felt just by being there. It was truly inspiring. I mean, the whole day was, I work an overnight job, and in the morning when I was getting on the transit, the bus was full of men and women and, babies and older adults, and the energy was amazing. It was so uplifting and so powerful, and I was just so excited. I was like, I can't wait to get to the march because I had planned on going. So excuse me, the moment that I got home, changed, took a shower, I was really excited, amped up. I didn't know what to expect. This was going to be my first march that I participated in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, I don't know what to expect. Let's just go and be positive. So I went, and when I got down to the train station, I had been passed up by 3 or 4 full trains, like completely full with people with...
What time did you get there at?
I got there around 11 o'clock. And, I mean, the trains were packed. The station was packed.
So there was 750,000 people in downtown Los Angeles, I heard the report.
At that moment, I just knew that there was a lot of people.
Yeah.
And there was no disruption. I mean, just on a regular day going on a transit, you're going to hear people being rude to each other, someone giving you attitude, or, the energy just off. But that day, it was so packed. There was lines to buy tickets to get on the train that was completely backed up. Lines to get on the train, lines to get out of the transit to get to the march. And I didn't hear not one negative thing.
Wow.
So when I finally got to the march, I was just taken back by the energy. The energy, I mean...
And what kind of people were there? I mean,
everybody. There were, everyone was there. You know what I mean? Men, women, Black women, white women, Latino women.
So let me ask you, a question I think that a lot of people have is what... I understand the after effects, and I felt so proud seeing the pictures of men out there with their daughters and brothers. It is just so cool to me that all those people showed up in support, and it moved me to tears. But what was it you guys were marching for? What was the sentiment of the day? I mean, what is the end goal? Was there just to show unity? What happened?
I mean, everything happened. Honestly, what I observed is that there were so many reasons why people were marching. They were marching against the comments that the current president made and has not, apologized or has not made any statement against those comments. The rape culture, which feeds the rape culture that we live in, that is glossed over in society, which threatens women everywhere, on every level, of every background. And
it was pretty fascinating too. Did you know? I've been hearing that like Fox News didn't cover it at all. Like I saw a lot of the march on the media and stuff, but like not as much as there should have been.
You would think that the march was, like gonna be very, anti-Trump, which it is anti-Trump, but that wasn't the focus. The focus was unity. The focus was hope. The focus is, okay, you know what? Let's get together. Let's put our problems aside and let's focus on the issues at hand, which is, equal pay for all women, to protect women's right of pro-choice, to,
Which is a concern because Trump is putting people into his
of
cabinet
course,
that
and,
are not.
it was against immigration laws that Trump wants to put in place. It was, to fight for gay rights.
So it's like the 47%, basically.
It was, it was
but
for everyone's right. It was not an anti-men, focused on so much anger and hate. No, it inspired me to get involved. A person that would get so angry with the things our current president has said. And
yeah, we were talking about this earlier, how it's really nice that me and Warde can sit here, have a conversation, and we're friends, and we know that, like, we're going to be friends at the end of this, no matter what our political views or anything, and we come from different backgrounds, and we, like, respect each other's opinions, and at the end of it, we're not going to storm out, we're going to sit
the
through
point
it.
is to, start having conversations, see where your differences lie, and, hear each other out. You may never know how your view may be taking a person's human rights away, and you may stand for human rights, and you may not even know that. It could be just ignorance. And like I said, for me, this march, it gave me hope. And without hope, you're not going to move to action. Hope is what allows people to move to action, and that's what the Women's March did for me. It also showed me the power of women. Like, women as a whole, when we come together and when we put everything aside and we unite our power and empower each other, the outcome is what you've seen on Saturday.
Yeah.
And women uniting will also inspire men to stand and unite with us as well.
And now let's clear up a word really quickly. And the word is feminist. Because that has been a little bit of like a taboo topic even in my life. In the background I grew up with, feminist was kind of a bad word. I hate to say it, but it represented a connotation of like women trying to be pushed out of the household and like not take care of families and all this and that. And I've recently discovered feminism means it's like this crazy notion that women are human beings with the exact same rights as men. And that's what being a feminist is. And like believing that.
You could be a feminist and decide to be a stay-home mom and raise your kids. That has nothing to do with being a feminist. Being a feminist is standing up for your rights, to decide what it is that you want to do, to not have your rights be made by anyone other than you, whether it's with your body, the way you want to raise your kids, whether it's how much you're getting paid at work, that you do the same job as a male does, and it has nothing to do with male bashing or any of that. There are men who are feminists. Those men that came to protest, they were protesting the insane things that our current president was promoting. They were there to stand up for their
and
daughters
not only,
and their women's
exactly.
rights
And
for equal
a lot of
pay.
men don't have the experience of having a daughter, having a sister, having a woman who has been really influential in their life. And I think it was gorgeous to see brothers there supporting their sisters. And, that's cool. Not every man has that opportunity.
Yeah, let me tell you about this guy that there was a meditation circle during the march, just right there on the floor. And there was this guy that was behind me, and he had, Band-Aids on his, toes, and his feet were hurting, and he had these red pumps sitting right next to him. And he said he had been there all morning marching in those pumps for women.
That's amazing.
You know what I mean? And he wasn't there. No one accompanied him. He just felt that he was obligated to stand up and do something. And that was how he wanted to show that, hey, I understand your struggle. I am there with you, and I am here for you today.
That's pretty amazing. And it's really touching to see, especially, guys showing up with no prompting or anything, because it's not about hating men or thinking men are horrible or anything. Like, both of us love men, and we understand the role of, like, women also. We love women.
Everyone is needed in the society that we live in, regardless of background, beliefs, anything. We are all, we play a major key in this society.
Yeah.
And to get rid of one group there is no society without eliminating a group. We all contribute.
Well, and we all need to rely on our sisterhood. And that's something that we were talking about earlier, and that has become really real to me recently, is just relying on your fellow woman. And it's been hard for me. I always have a lot of guy friends, and I think there's certain types of girls who are really proud to, like, oh, I'm one of the guys and this and that. And I really, like, let that go recently. I have certain mannerisms that are, like, more on the, male side. I like to hang out with the dudes and stuff. But at the same time, like, talk with women is really important. Sitting around, like you said, like, lighting candles with your mom and her friends. Like, tell me what you were saying earlier about, like, your ceremony. I'm so jealous. What would you do with them?
Well, you were asking me,
in your culture, like, what women
my
do.
upbringing with women, and I've always had such a positive view on sisterhood and having this connection with women to uplift each other. And it all came from my mom. And my mom would have, these coffee, which would be called bun or shai in my language. And she would have it laid out, this nice, beautiful setting with candles and incense and, popcorn and sweets. And she'd invite her girlfriends over, and they'd come over and swap stories, and they'd bring their kids, and their kids would be in the back room with us, hanging out and waiting for them to just, enjoy their day off together. And it was, I can tell when they left how empowered my mother felt. So I had that example, and I always felt that there is this role, this important role that a woman adds to society and to family and in the workplace and everything from her. Yeah. And so...
And synergy. I mean, I told Warde earlier that I gained 2 sister-in-laws.
Yes.
And it's been the best thing ever. We have, like, women's circles, and we light candles. This is all very new to me.
Yeah, this is all very new to
me.
This is all very new to you. Like, tell me how you were brought up and when did this interest in womanhood, and what are your views of womanhood? When did it come about, and what was your upbringing like surrounding womanhood?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I was raised in the Church of Scientology, and I had saved a quote for you I wanted to read. So this is like what I believed growing up. Now I'm a little bit embarrassed, but this is what I believed until somewhat recently. So a society in which women are taught anything but the management of a family, the care of men, and the creation of the future generation is a society which is on its way out. And in that same book, he also wrote, the historian can peg the point where a society begins its sharpest decline at the instant when women begin to take part on an equal footing with men in political and business affairs, since this means that men are decadent and that women are no longer women. This is not a sermon on the role or position of women. It is a statement of bald and basic fact. And that was one of the first courses I did from the New Slants Online.
This is the foundation that you grew up under.
Yeah. And so I've been like tearing
that apart.
Taking off what doesn't suit me anymore. And but at the same time,
you've since left Scientology, and now you are living a completely different life than what you were raised under, right? Correct. And so now you live on your own. You run your own business.
And I've always lived on my own. Not always, not always. I raised myself. Yeah, no, but I've been supporting myself for a very long time.
This little infant.
But I think I've only recently realized how long I've been supporting myself. I was kind of like fooling myself in a way of like, oh, well, there's that, family backdrop or like something to fall back on or this or that. But I've been taking care of myself since I was about 16 years old. Right. At least. 15, 16 years old. So, it's nothing new, but I think in this period of my life, I'm really like, it's taken a while. I decided a while ago I wasn't going to be part of this church a few years ago, but it's taken much time to unravel all of these thoughts because I was born in this organization and whatever. These are all my beliefs. These are my beliefs, and I've had to like question every single belief. So what I've been recently questioning so much with Donald Trump becoming president, I realized that I'm in year 2017, not 1950s. Because I have for so long, been in 1950s in my head.
Right.
And when women's liberation was kind of a bad thing, I kind of grew up, not really liking Yoko Ono, believing that she split up the Beatles. I don't know, I've taken a whole new perspective now that I don't have people's expectations on me anymore. I've lost a lot of people, family members and friends, and I don't have to worry about what they think about me anymore. They think something horrible already, so I can just now be whatever I want.
Where are you at with women rights, and where was your perspective of the march? Did you go?
I didn't go to the march. I have been just processing so much recently that I try to stay away from anything that I think might be a little too emotionally overwhelming. And that day, when I see things on the news, they just seem so sensational. And I see the day before it was protests and there were cars lighting on fire. I mean, I told you, be safe, and probably when you got there, you were like, this is peaceful, but at the same time, there's, I didn't really understand. I knew that it was for women, and I support women, and of course I support women. I've been going to Planned Parenthood since I was 15 years old, man, Hell yeah. I know. That's not okay with me. And nobody has the right to tell us those are our human rights. And I agree entirely. And I believe in, we both, you and me, live in Los Angeles. We both love Hispanic people so much and have absolutely zero problem whatsoever with immigrants. It's always been the way it is here. And we have no problem.
I'm an immigrant, so I can relate on so many levels. I'm an immigrant. I'm Black. I grew up in a Muslim household. I think that every woman should have a right over her body, and I'm pro-choice. And I'm pro everybody having a right. It's not right for anybody to take someone's God-given rights away or impose their thoughts or beliefs over anyone. So, like I said, I was like you. I didn't care to go to protests. I was skeptical. I didn't know what to expect. Do I want to get caught up in all of that? But
it emotionally can overwhelm you if you're going to a protest. It can become everything, and if you're already dealing with a bunch of stuff, sometimes you don't have the energy.
Yeah.
But
that's what I'm saying. That's what the Women's March did for me.
It reinvigorated you, right?
It reinvigorated me, and it gave me it made me realize that I can do this peacefully. I could do it aggressively, but peacefully. Yeah.
And what is the next step? What is the next thing? What is the next peaceful movement? Because
Well,
I want to know.
Right now,
what
everyone is trying to, keep the momentum going. I think conversations like this are great,
we're doing this today. I mean, it inspired this conversation.
And just talking to people and getting, and being more active in what's going on. And
so it's important that
that you are aware of what's going on, the steps that our current president is taking. If you go to the whitehouse.com, you can see what petitions are being put up by people, and if you agree with it, then you can help out and add your name. I know the women's movement, the Women's March, their website. I went up there yesterday, and it said, stay tuned for the next things that are going to be coming.
And there's
up.
Facebook groups. There's Parenthood Nation, I think, that still goes on, which is like a Hillary group. But there's all sorts of different things. Right?
And you could always fact check your stories. Talk to people. A lot of people who didn't go have such a negative perspective of the march, and I encourage those people to talk to people who went to the march, because when I say I swear, everyone that has gone to the march and that I talked to has left with an enlightened mind, an open heart, and
more humanity, probably, for each other.
There was so many signs of unity, and it was just beautiful. It was beautiful, and I encourage, like I said, it something peaceful like that inspired me, a person who was anti-government, I'm so angry. My anger overruled my action. It was hope that moved me to action. It was love. And seeing,
and getting that hope back is like sometimes the most important thing. And that is super inspiring. And already you told me there's something on Wednesday, right? There's like a meeting
a women's
on
group
Wednesday.
That's going to be happening, and
So anyway, this video is getting a little bit long, so we will wrap it up now.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in.
Yeah, we had fun talking about this, and I think it's cool. We can, if you guys want to leave comments on anything that we can do, you can do any ideas that you guys have.
Or share your thoughts and your comments. Get the conversations going.
For sure.
Comment, say, why did you go, and what were the reasons that, made you not want to go, and get the conversations going, but always do it respectfully and with an open heart, with the idea to come to a result of understanding.
And please share your viewpoints on what was your viewpoint of women's rights and what is your viewpoint today, because it's really fascinating, and everybody's viewpoints are changing like so dramatically, and I'd love to hear it. So thanks for watching. This is Michelle Pfeiffer, still available for adoption at The Real Bark. Check her out on Pet Finder.
Hi, Bruno.